Hello, guys. Welcome back. I hope you guys are having a really great week. I just realized that I did the collection view, setting up the collection view in the last video, and I will provide this code below in case anyone's lost that's been following along. And I didn't actually fill anything into this array yet. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to fill the information, the post information, into the array from Firebase. So let's look at this, what we have. Last video, well, the video before last, what we did was we got all of our users, we got all of their posts, and then we just print it out to the screen. So what we're going to do now is we have to take all of this data and store it into our feed array. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we get from this dictionary, we're getting a post key, which is the ID. We're getting the user's profile pic, their username, and the pic that they posted. So let's go ahead and just, instead of doing it here, let's go ahead and store that into the array. So I'm just going to get rid of all of this. All right. So now that we know that we have all the information that we need, what we want to do is we want to get the user's post ID. So let's do that first. So the user's post ID is going to be equal to this post snap and the key value, because as you remember, what we're doing is we're storing the dictionary by the value stored in the snapshot. So this is going to actually get us that post ID. So let's go ahead and continue, and this way, once if someone clicks it or something like that, we can actually pull up that photo for more detail. So let's go ahead and do a if let, and we're just going to get the post data, which is going to be the post snapshot, which we get back from Firebase, and the values. So the values that's stored inside of there. So if we're able to get that information, then we want to go ahead and create all of our data and place it into a post, right? So we want to create a post. So we have a class here. If I go here, I have this post class, and it's basically just a bunch of information. Now there is something different. I thought about it, and I think we do need a timestamp, because right now what we're going to end up doing is we're going to instead be grabbing every of our her posts, every one of our you posts, every one of my posts, and we're going to post them back to back, which isn't necessarily how you would want it to be displayed. You would want some type of chronological order to it. So that's why I added the timestamp. So I'm going to jump back into the feed view. So let's go ahead and do that. So we know we're doing some guard statements. So guard let profile URL, our profile image is going to be our post data, so that we just set up here. So if we have that, then we want to get the value of profile pic, and that's from our Firebase database as well as from our class. So if you've named yours something different, of course you want to grab that, and we want that as a string. And we're going to do an else return. So if we can't get it, then we're just going to return. We're going to throw out anything that we can't get the information to. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a couple more of these. For the username is going to be the post data username. And I'm going to get that as a string as well. Else we're going to return it. And then last but not least, the actual post URL. So what they post is going to be equal to the post data, and it's going to be posted pic, and that's going to be, I'm going to do that as a string because that's what our class is asking for. Else we're going to return So junk it if we don't have the information. And then what we want to do is now we want to actually save this, and let's see if it's yelling at me about anything. And as dictionary. Okay, there we go. All right. So now that we have all that information, what we're going to do is we're going to create an instance of this class and store it into our feed array. So because we're deep down into this closure, we're going to just do self.feed array. And what we want to do is we want to append this element. And this element is going to be a post, right? So we have a post here, and we need to fill out all of this information and then, of course, close it off. Now our post ID, we've gotten it here. So that's post ID. And our profile pic, we have a profile URL that we just got here, right there. Our username is going to be our username, and that is from here. Our post image is our post URL. And as far as our timestamp, the way I decided to do this, instead of doing like a string, because as you know, Firebase takes strings and as numbers, and I believe a couple other types. You could check that out. But what I did is I'm storing this as an NS number. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to get the timestamp as an interval. So it's going to just be a number, and we're just going to value by that number, because as time goes up, so the later posts are going to be a higher number. So that way we could just sort by our values, right? So I'm just going to say it's going to be an NS number. Oops, number. Okay. And then it's going to be a value, which is going to be an int value for it. You could do a float, or you could do whatever you find to be best for your int. And then what we need to do is we want to make that take the NS date. And then I'm just going to say that interval since 1970. You can choose some type of reference date and do yours differently, but this is going to work for me. And I'm just going to put a couple of, close these off. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, I think that closes everything off. So now we're appending this value to our feed array, so that way we have something to load. And then once we do this, as we are getting new values, we want to continuously upload or reload our feed. So self dot feed collection view, the feed collection view that we set up, that's based off of this feed array. We're just going to want to reload the data. All right, so let's see. Let's clean this, see if we have any issues. Okay, let's build it, see if we have any issues. Okay, it seems like we have something here. So what is it? Okay, I'm just going to show you guys this really quickly while this builds. Just zoom in here. So what I should be getting is all this information. So this is how it's stored in my Firebase database. So underneath this folder called post, our user her, she has, and this should be your unique user ID. As you see here, I actually set it up as it should probably look in yours. This unique ID, this unique post ID, and the information for it. But this was some of the dummy data that I had. So I have post ID, posted pic, profile pic, timestamp, and the username. So as long as your Firebase looks like this, my code should work for you. But if it doesn't, you'll have to tweak the code. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. All right, so here we go. So here we have the data that we have in our Firebase. And as you see, we have a bunch of pictures of her kittens and some puppies right behind each other from you. So yeah, that's what we were looking to get, but we do still need to sort this. Actually, see, I have 2 user posts here and there. And I'm not quite sure why I did that, so I'm just going to get rid of one of these because we're not using this. We're actually not using this, but I've already gone ahead and put that information here. So it's basically the same thing. So I'm just going to get rid of this and just get rid of one of these down here. All right, so this is what I have, and this is what I'm getting. Oh, I stopped it. All right, so in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to move forward. And this was one I wanted to get out really quickly so that way we can get past this point. Now we're displaying feed information or value information from our feeds or our users into our feed. And the next couple of videos will be pretty interesting. We'll have to make a correction on something just to make sure that we all understand what needs to happen. I am super happy that you guys have joined me again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.